Hi HCG family, this is Jen and I'm finally coming to you guys with my real egg white cookie recipe. I know there was a previous vlog out there and I had used the dehydrated egg whites, but a lot of people are having trouble finding those. I was able to find them at my local grocery store, but I did notice you can buy them through Amazon. They're about $10 though for one canister, so you might not want to invest that much money on something like that. And I think some of those sites are actually wanting you to buy numerous canisters of the powdered egg whites. So with that being an issue, I decided just to go ahead and show you guys how you can use real egg whites, okay? Now, and I did change the recipe some and the calories some, but it's still pretty good. All right, so what you want to do, what I had done already, because I don't have editing yet, as much as I keep begging my family to help me, we haven't had time to do it, we've just been really busy. I went ahead and separated out 3 egg whites, okay? And you can do that when they're cold, because egg whites separate better when they're cold. So go ahead and do that in a bowl. You can let them sit for about a half an hour at room temperature, or, you know, because you want them to come up to room temperature. If you don't have the patience for that, or the time for that, you can also take a warm bowl of water and put your mixing bowl on top of that, and then put your egg whites in there, and then it doesn't, you know, it only takes a few minutes. You'll get a good idea when they seem like they're room temperature. I also keep this warm as well during the process, because egg whites are very sensitive, and that way they're going to be fluffier and more like a meringue. You don't want them to get cold, but don't make the water so hot, obviously, that they cook. Just nice warm, and make sure your bowl's feeling warm. It's best to use either a metal bowl, or you could use another glass bowl, but plastic isn't the best choice for this recipe, so either metal or glass is fine. And so what I did already was I had my 3 egg whites in here. Directly to those, before I did anything else, I went ahead and added 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar, okay, this stuff here. I added 1/8 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now the reason why I use kosher salt for some of my recipes is just because it dissolves quicker. It's very fine. It's a finer salt. But in general though, I love the Himalayan pink salt. That has much more minerals for you, and for everyday cooking, I highly recommend it. We go through that stuff like crazy. But for this recipe, the kosher salt works well. So then I also added, let's see here, I used the pure vanilla extract, and I did 1/2 of a teaspoon of that. The kids are making noises in the background. That's okay. 1/2 a teaspoon of that. And now if you don't want to use pure vanilla, you just want to be careful how much extract you put in so that your egg whites don't break down. So you could do vanilla, and this one has vanilla bean extracts and water and alcohol, which is 41% alcohol. Then you can also do the lemon extract. You want to do more like a lemon essence type cookie, and that one as well has alcohol in it and water and oil of lemon. You could try that, or you can also try mint and make like a peppermint type cookie, which is really good when you put chocolate delight on top of that. That's good. All right, so that's just some ideas, but there's, you know, you could probably put any of those extracts in there. You just want to make sure that they're not full of water. You don't want to incorporate too much of it either, so the taste is probably going to be very subtle. So after I had all those things in my bowl, I went ahead and made sure that everything was at a good temperature. I went ahead and slowly added in 5 tablespoons of powdered Truvia, okay? And I did one at a time, very slowly. So it took me about, you know, at least a minute for each one. Now I have 1 left tablespoon to add. Hopefully this hasn't been sitting too long. And I will show you guys how I did that. So. And you want to do that on high speed, okay? Okay, so now when you add in that powdered Truvia, oops, almost dropped it there. You do want to make sure you do it really slowly, and it could take you, you know, like a minute for each tablespoon. So like 5 minutes to get that really incorporated. Just do it really slowly. I would suggest just using your tablespoon instead of using like instead of measuring it all out in a measuring cup or something, because that way you can just kind of gently sprinkle a little in at a time. So there you go, guys. This is like a meringue. Well, this is a meringue. This is just a sugar-free meringue recipe. Now it's a little bit different than when I use the egg whites. When I use the dehydrated egg whites, because those tend to be a lot flatter and more of a crunchy cookie. But I think what you can do with these, though, if you do want a flatter cookie, I would just don't put them on your parchment paper. I already have my cookie sheet here lined with parchment paper. My oven is already set at 200 degrees. I move this out of the way. So now you can, let's say, I should probably have gotten out 2 sheets. Now if you put the dollops on here, and you could put them into a piping bag if you're really creative, but you know, still you gotta be jumper with these guys. Now if you do it like this, of course, you're gonna have a nice little puffy meringue type cookie. Look at the little thing going on there. So that's kind of fun. And then of course, now we talked about this before, making it like a snickerdoodle. You can put your cinnamon on the bottom, or on top of the parchment paper, which will then be on the bottom of the cookie. Spread some of that around. Now if you want these ones, now of course though, you probably want to be consistent with your cookies because of the way they're going to cook. Now I want these ones to be a little flatter because I want them to be crunchy. So I'm just going to put those on flatter. I don't want them real puffy. So it just kind of depends on how you want your cookies. If you want them, you know, light and fluffy like a meringue, or if you want them a little bit flatter and crunchy, just like a traditional cookie. I mean, you can play around with this recipe. Now, also, what I've talked about in my other vlog, what I do after about 20 minutes, you can go ahead and put some more cinnamon on top. I see Julie just made these, and she had mentioned, hi Julia, she had mentioned she put cinnamon on top, and she also put a little extra powdered Truvia on there. Miss HCG girl made it, and she used some cocoa powder, so that's a good idea. You could put some cocoa powder, maybe sprinkle some Truvia on the bottom of your cookie sheet as well, and you can make them more like a chocolate. I mean, there is just a ton of things you guys can do. If you just do the lemon, then you can even just do the powdered Truvia on the bottom and just make it more just like a lemon cookie. So there's a lot you can do with them. And I would suggest though, if you're going to do this different variety of sizes and shapes, that I'd be consistent on your cookie sheet so that they bake evenly. Alright, so anyways, that is that. Let me show you the final outcome. Now, those you want to put into your oven then at 200 degrees. You can go a little bit higher if you want, if you're not worried about them turning out like a meringue. You know, you can go up to 225 maybe if you're going to have the flatter cookie and you just want it to be a crunchier. Just keep an eye on them. When they start to firm up, you know, they're pretty much done. But I did these ones more as a meringue cookie, and I cooked them for about an hour and a half at 200 degrees, and they felt pretty firm. So I went ahead and turned off the oven and let them sit in there for another half an hour. I mean, you can probably let them sit in there as long as they need to really dehydrate out. So, but here I have a couple, I have the same size to show you guys, but different, I put different things on them. This one's like a snickerdoodle. I had the cinnamon on there, and oh, also Kathy, Not Enough Hours, she made some, and she put pumpkin pie spice on hers. So yum, I'm definitely gonna have to do that next time. So, but yeah, you can put, you know, whatever you want on there, but now when they're about 20 minutes in, you can put some cinnamon on top. All these things I put on top, well, not the chocolate, but you want to do like after about 20 minutes of cooking before they're completely done. So at about 20 minutes, you can take them out gently. You can put cinnamon on top and maybe a little more powdered Truvia on there. You can put pumpkin pie spice on top, some more cocoa. I mean, gosh, endless possibilities. Now these ones are like the snickerdoodles, and they got the cinnamon on the top and bottom. And you know, you can do this powdered Truvia. These ones just have powdered Truvia. There's meringue with like the powdered Truvia. These ones are plain, which are still good because they're just like a nice plain little vanilla cookie. These ones I drizzled chocolate delight on top. Those are delicious. And this one I drizzled chocolate delight and coconut unsweetened coconut flakes on top. And this one I did coconut, or chocolate delight and a little extra powdered Truvia. So, I mean, really guys, you can do so many things. It's a very basic recipe. It's just a matter of kind of tweaking it a little bit so that it works for us, you know, HCGers, and I think this one turned out great. So I hope you all enjoy it and have fun making lots of great cookies. And I know it's going to be helpful for all of us during the holidays. And I know I'll be taking some over to my brother's house on Thanksgiving to share with everybody. All right, guys. Well, I hope this helped. And if you come up with any great ideas, or if you make them, you want to let me know how they turned out. Or if you come up with some new ideas, let me know, because I always want to learn new stuff too. And I hope you guys are having a great night. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.